Your website might look amazing and still be costing you thousands of dollars a month in lost leads. And the worst part, you never know. Because from your side, it looks fine. It looks professional. You might even get compliments on it. But here's what I see every week in my job. Contractor websites that are genuinely good looking, clean design, nice photos, the whole thing. And they're getting almost zero calls from them. And the business owner has no idea why, because nobody ever told them what the problem actually is. So I'm going to tell you right now, because I've looked at sites for electricians, plumbers, HVAC companies, roofers, renovation contractors, you name it. And I keep seeing the same mistakes over and over. Looking good and converting are two completely different jobs, and most trade websites are only doing one of them. So today I'm going to break down exactly what the difference is, what I actually look at when I audit a website, and what you can fix. Some of it today without spending a dime. So let's get into it. Let me give you a real example. I looked at a roofing company's website not too long ago. Nice site. They clearly invested in good photography, before and after shots, photos of the crew, the whole thing. Clean logo, on brand colors. Honestly, it looked better than a lot of sites I see. And when they were pulling decent traffic, a few hundred visitors a month, but they were getting almost zero leads from it. You want to know what the issue was? There was no phone number above the fold on mobile. That's it, one thing, on a phone, which is where about 65 to 70% of the visitors were coming from. You had to scroll past a full screen hero image, past a tagline, past a paragraph about the company values before you could find a way to actually contact them. And here's the thing about someone who's searching for a roofer. They're not browsing. They just noticed something wrong with the roof. Maybe it's after a hailstorm. Maybe they spotted a stain on their ceiling. They want to call somebody now. And you want to make them work to find your number even for 5 seconds? A lot of them are gone. They're hitting the back button and calling the next company on the list. That's the core difference between a website that looks good and one that converts. A website that looks good is designed to impress you. It's designed so that when you, the business owner, see it for the first time, you feel good about it. And that's understandable. You paid for it, you want to be proud of it. But a website that converts is designed around one question. What does somebody need to see, feel, and be able to do in the first 10 seconds they're on the page in order to pick up that phone? Those are not always the same design. A lot of web designers, not all of them, but a lot, are optimizing for your approval when they build your site. They want you to be happy at the handoff, but they're not always thinking about what happens at 9:30 on a Tuesday night when their furnace stops working and they're on your website on their phone with three other tabs open, right? So I want to define the word conversion because it gets thrown around in marketing a lot and it sounds more complicated than it is. For most trade businesses, a conversion is simple. Somebody found your website and then contacted you. That's it. A phone call, a form submission, a quote request. They came, they saw something that made them trust you, and they reached out. Everything else on your website, the design, the photos, the copy, the SEO, all of it exists to make that one thing happen. So when I'm auditing a trades website, I'm not asking, does this look professional? I'm asking, how many steps does a visitor have to take before they contact this company? How much friction is there? What would make somebody hesitate or bounce? So here's specifically what I look at. The call to action. Is there something on this page, visible without scrolling, that clearly tells me what to do next? For a service business, that's almost always a phone number, an email, and a button. Something that says, call now, get a free quote, book a service call, something direct. A lot of sites I look at don't have this above the fold. The CTA is in the footer, or there's another button way at the bottom of the homepage. That's not a website that's trying to convert anyone. That's a digital brochure. 2. The mobile experience. I say this every time I have this conversation. Pull up your websites on your phone right now. Not the desktop version of your phone. Is the text readable without zooming in, or is it too big? Are the buttons big enough to tap with your thumb? Is the phone number a clickable link that opens the dialer when you tap it? Because in the trades, mobile is basically everything. People are searching from a job site. They're searching from their kitchen when something breaks. They are not at a desk. If your mobile experience is slow, cramped, and confusing, you're bleeding leads every single day. Page load speed. Every extra second your site takes to load, you lose visitors. Google's own data shows that more than half of mobile users will leave a page that takes more than 3 seconds to load. 3 seconds, that's nothing. And the thing is, you probably can't tell how slow your site is because you visited dozens of times. Your browser has it cached. It feels fast to you, but a first-time visitor on a phone with average LTE data signal, completely different story. There are free tools you can use to check this. Google PageSpeed Insights is one of them, and I'd encourage you to go look. Trust signals. This one is massive for home-based service businesses because when you're actually selling it is access to someone's home. Before anybody calls you, they're going to need to believe you're real, you're established, and you're not going to make their problem worse. Does your site have real Google reviews? Not just a star rating, but actual written testimonials from actual customers. Does it say you're licensed and insured in plain language where people can see it? Does it have real photos of your team, your trucks, your actual work? There's a big noticeable difference between a website that feels like a real established company and one that feels like something that went up fast. And homeowners feel that difference even if they can't quite explain it. It shows up in whether they call you or the next guy. Okay, so this is the part that's actually useful. These are not hypothetical. These are things I am actually looking at on SMB websites on a regular basis. If you recognize yourself in any of these, that's not a dig. It's actually good news because that's fixable, right? So mistake one, your homepage is about you, not about your customer. This is probably the most common one. The homepage opens with something like, "Welcome to ABC Company, a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area since 2003. We take pride in quality work and customer satisfaction." That's fine, but that's not a hook. That doesn't make me want to call you. What actually works better is leading with the customer's problem. Furnace not heating? We're available 24/7 for emergency service. Pipe burst? We'll have somebody at your door within the hour. Storm damage? We do free roof inspections same day. You're not just telling me who you are. You're telling me that you understand my situation and you can fix it. That's what makes somebody pick up the phone instead of hitting the back button. Mistake number two, service pages with no substance. A lot of trade websites have a service page that just lists the services. Electrical panels, wiring, EV charger installation, that's it. Think about what somebody actually wants to know when they're searching for panel upgrade services. What does that process look like? How long does it take? Does my house get power during the work? What's the rough price range? Do I need a panel upgrade or could it be something else? A good service page answers those questions. It removes uncertainty. It makes somebody confident enough to call you instead of keeping their tab open and second guessing themselves. And here's a bonus. A detailed service page is also better for your Google ranking, but more on that in another video. But the short version is this. Google rewards pages that actually answer the question the person typed in. Mistake number three, no clear geographic focus. I see trade websites that don't mention where they work or they mention it once in the footer. If I'm a homeowner in Sherwood Park and I need a plumber, I want to know immediately that you cover my area. If I have to dig for that information, I'm not going to bother. I'm moving on to the next guy. So this is both a conversion problem and an SEO problem. Your website should be telling people and search engines exactly where you work. Mistake number four, contact forms that are too long. I've seen forms that ask for name, email, phone number, type of service, your home address, preferred appointment time, how you heard about us, and a description of the issue. Nobody's going to fill that out on a phone. Nobody. You just want name, email, phone number, and maybe what they need help with. That's it. You'll get everything else when you call them or email them back. Every extra field you add is another reason for somebody to close that tab. Mistake number five, using stock photos. I understand that not every company has a professional photographer available, but a homepage full of stock photos of people in hard hats who have never actually held a hammer, that undermines your credibility more than you think. People can tell. Subconsciously, it makes your business feel less real. Even imperfect photos of your actual crew, your actual vehicles, your actual job sites, those do more to build trust than any stock image. So pull out your phone, take some photos on a job this week. It doesn't have to be polished. Real beats perfect every time. All right, so let's flip this. What should a good website actually look like? Your homepage has one job in the first 5 seconds. Tell me who you are, what you do, and where, and give me an obvious way to contact you. All of that has to happen before I scroll at all. So on desktop and on mobile, above the fold, you want your company name or logo, a clear headline that tells me your service and your location, something like Edmonton's trusted HVAC specialist, or 24/7 plumbing repair in the Leduc area. your phone number, big and visible, and a button that says something direct. Call now, get a free quote, book a service call, not learn more, not contact us. Something that tells me exactly what I'm doing when I click it. That's the minimum. Everything below that scroll point is building the case for people who are still deciding. So then as you go down the page, what services do you offer? Keep it scannable, not a wall of text. What makes you different? Not quality work and customer satisfaction. That's what everybody says. Something specific. We show up in the time window we give you, or your service call is free, or all our texts are background checked. Specific claims that a competitor couldn't just copy and paste. Then your reviews, real ones, either a Google review widget or screenshots of actual Google reviews with names, dates, and full text. Star ratings alone don't do much. Written reviews from real people do. Then your trust signals, licensed and insured, logos of associations you're part of, brands you work with, years in business, not buried at the bottom, somewhere visible. And then a clear CTA again. Because not everybody reads in order. Some people scroll to the bottom first, have another contact option there waiting for them. Your individual services pages each need to focus on one thing. One service, one location or region, one set of questions to answer. They should be detailed enough that somebody could read it and understand what they're getting into before they call. And this is important. Every single page of your site needs a way for people to contact you, not just the contact page and homepage, every page. Because people land on your services page, your about page, your blog posts, from Google searches, from social media, from whenever. And if they're ready to call and you haven't made it easy, you've lost them. Your contact page itself should be simple. A big phone number at the top, a simple form underneath, 3 to 4 fields max, maybe a line that says we'll call you back within 2 hours or whatever your actual response time is. Set the expectation, make it easy. But here's what I want you to be straight up with you about. Most trade business owners get a website built, they like how it looks, they pay for it, and then they kind of forget about it. They don't look at it again, it's done, it's up, there's a box that got checked, and the site just sits there. Traffic comes in, people visit, and nobody really asks the question, how many of those people are actually turning into phone calls? Because if your site is getting 400 visitors a month and converting at 1%, which is low but not unusual for trade sites that haven't been optimized, that's 4 leads a month from your website. If you fixed a few things and got that up to 3%, that's 12 leads. Same traffic, 3 times the leads. That math matters. And it's not about a full redesign. Often it's not even close to that. It's about knowing what to look at. I've done audits where the fix was literally one thing. The phone number wasn't clickable on mobile. The page took 6 seconds to load. The CTA button said learn more instead of something that made more sense. One thing changed and selling the site was actually doing something. So if you're a trade business owner and you've been watching this thinking, I'm honestly not sure if my website is working, that's worth finding out. Not to make you feel bad about your site, but because if it's working or not working, there's usually a reason. And the reason is usually fixable. So go look at your website on your phone, not on your computer, your phone, and ask yourself 3 questions. 1, can I see a phone number without scrolling? 2, is there a button that tells me clearly what to do next? 3, does this page say what I do and where without scrolling? If the answer to any of those is no, you've got something to fix, and it's probably not as complicated as you think. And if you want a second set of eyes on it, somebody who actually knows what to look for, that's part of what we do here at Inspire Method. We work with home service businesses on exactly this stuff, looking at your site from a conversion standpoint, figuring out what's working and what's hurting you, and then building something that actually brings in call. So if that sounds like a conversation worth having, the link to reach us is in the description. And if you found this video useful, share it, leave a like, and subscribe. I'm Pedro from Inspire Method. I'll see you next week.